Hey, what's up, screen printers? Welcome to another video tutorial brought to you by LearnHowToScreenPrint.com. Today's video, we're going to be printing on the alternative Go-To Tee. Very soft, fashionable t-shirt. We're going to do some halftone printing. We're going to show you how you can actually print like this. Alright, so we're going to do some halftone printing. 55 LPI, just like this right here. And then we're also going to do 35 LPI. We're going to show you the difference in that and how you can achieve a different look with each halftone lines per inch. So let's go on over. We'll get started. Let's get busy printing. Okay, so we're going to run some prints here. We've got the alternative basic tee here. It's a very soft cotton tee and has a fashion face for the everyday basic orders, and it's at a very low competitive price point. For halftones, you don't want to smash the ink into the shirt. You know, you want to make sure that you're just applying enough pressure to clear the screen. Too much pressure and you're going to lose a lot of your halftones too. With these 55 LPI, it definitely makes a difference. Alright, let's check out the white base here. Take a look at that. So we definitely want to make sure that we have enough pressure to clear the screen, but not so much pressure that you're smashing the ink, you know, like I said, through the shirt. With 55 LPI and this much halftones, you don't want to, you know, give it so much pressure that you're basically going to lose all your halftones. Take a look at that. Alright, so we gave it a quick flash there, and that's one of the other things about a lot of halftones. Since it's not such a big block print, the halftones kind of break it up. It does flash a lot faster. We've got a 200 mesh for the white base. For the gray base here, we've got the gray plate, we've got a 230. And then for the highlight white, we have a 230. One of the other things about the halftones and the LPI, you want to use the correct mesh count for your halftones. A good way to remember that is to take your LPI and times that times 4. So, you know, for instance, if you're using 55 LPI for your rip, you know, outputting your films, 55 times 4 will give you, I think that's like 220. So we ended up using 230 to 200. That's the closest ones that we have. So that's what we went with. You know, you want to make sure that your screen mesh is able to hold your halftones. If you're using too low of mesh count and you've got, you know, 55 LPI, your dots are basically going to fall right through your mesh count there. Being able to hold the 55 LPI will definitely give your designs a more realistic look. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You know, the 35 LPI does have its place. A lot of times that can give your designs a more cartoonish look, which we'll get to that here in the next step. Alright, check it out. We got a side-by-side comparison of the 55 LPI and the 35 LPI, both of them on the alternative Go-To Tee. Check them out. As you can see, the 35 LPI, the dots are much bigger, more of a cartoonish look. Take a look here in the face. The dots are, you know, a lot more spread apart. Just not a very good smooth gradient. Let's move over to the 55 LPI and we'll compare the same parts of the face there. A lot more smooth. The detail you can, you know, actually the texture and the tone in the face. Let's take a look over here at the wing. It's very smooth. The tone, the texture, everything. It's just more pleasing, in my opinion, you know, to use a higher mesh count on a design like this. The whole design pops a lot more. a lot softer too. We used 3 screens on each one. Both of them were a 200 white base flash. We used a 230 for the gray flash, and then we used a 230 for the highlight white. All right, check out the film positives here. So we've got the 35 LPI. Check out those big old dots, which actually they are ellipticals, and we printed our film positives using Accurate. Move over to this one here. This is the 55 LPI. Check it out, a lot smaller. So to be able to hold the smaller dots, you have to make sure that you can hold those halftones, and you've got to set your screens up right. Here's a screen here. We coat all of our screens, 2 coats each side. We use the round, dull edge of the scoop coater, and definitely always make sure that your screens are holding, good tension. I've got, what is this? Pretty much 22 newtons here. I have a, general rule of thumb. If anything gets below, 15 is the absolute lowest. Once they hit 15, they're out of the production run, screen room, anything. They're out of here. So, just be consistent. If you're going to be doing a lot of halftone printing, you want to try to control the variables. Make sure that you're coating screens the exact same way. For us, it works 2 coats, inside, outside. Make sure that your screens are nice and tight, and then use the exposure calculator to dial in and make sure that you're able to hold these halftones. Also, I would suggest you get one of these if you can. We got this from Amazon. I think it's like $10 to be able to control the humidity, or keep an eye on the humidity in your screen room. We try to keep ours under 25. Once we coat a bunch of screens, it does raise the humidity level. Or once you're cleaning them, take a look over here. Got the screen racks here. Keep your screens clean, keep the room dust free. Come on over here, take a look at the dehumidifier. Like I said, try to keep track of all the variables. So that's how we were able to print the design we did with the 55 LPI and the 35 LPI. Exact same design, exact same separations. We used Accurate to output the the films with those particular LPIs. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. Till next time, happy printing.